You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
All right, yo, man, 15 minutes of fame. Thought you'd be a good guy to ask this question about this battle that was just announced yesterday.
What battle was that?
Tay-Rock versus Murder Mook.
Okay.
All right? Who do you got winning? And if you're not going to tell me that, at least break down the battle for me.
Yeah, I mean, I usually give you an answer. Let me think about it, though. I haven't really thought about it, so let's talk through it. Mook's strength is angles. There's definitely a lot of good angles you can take for Tay-Rock. The Tay-Rock / Dracula that we saw versus Daylight was doing some angles too. If Rock is in that bag, the Dracula bag, he can beat Mook. Definitely can beat Mook. The other X factor is we don't know which Mook is gonna show up, because I feel like Mook versus Verb was different than the Mook we saw versus Iron, which was different than the Mook we saw versus Lux in the rematch on Total Slaughter. Like, Mook has different.
What about the Lux, not versus Street Hymns, but the battle?
That was my favorite Mook since he's been back. As far as the content and as far as, like, I feel like he was less concerned about angles, and he reminded me the most of vintage Mook. He was just rapping, just out rapping people. Mook back in the day was never a big angler. He would get by out rapping the shit out of you. You know, Lux is probably the only one that kept up, like really kept up with Mook. So it depends, man. It's weird because I want to see Mook do something different, but like if the Mook from the Street Hymns battle shows up, Mook can win. You know what I'm saying? Mook can out rap anyone on any given night. That's just that's the cloth he's cut from. That's his pedigree. If I gotta choose, do we know what kind of setting this is? Is this gonna have a small crowd like SMX, or is it gonna be like?
I'm gonna jump out the window and take a risk and say I think it's gonna be in the same place, because that seems to be the place that they've been using for everything as of late.
Okay.
So I think it probably will, other than Gnome.
Right.
Gnome was in LA, so I'm not sure, but if I had to put my money on, I think it's gonna be in that Virginia setting.
So either Virginia or maybe LA.
Maybe LA.
In any case,
tough, huh?
I'm gonna go Rock.
Rock.
I'm gonna go Rock, and that might be different tomorrow. You ask me tomorrow, I might say Mook. You asked me yesterday, I might say Mook. Today, right now, 2020, September, I thought Rock versus Daylight was incredible, and now Rock knows more of what he can do with angles. He wasn't just punching, he wasn't just aggressive, he wasn't just street. He was attacking Daylight. He was attacking his character, attacking his image. He was breaking him down, and I'd never seen that from Rock.
He was a whole different, calmer guy too. I think.
Different
so.
one, yeah. Like his energy was way more concentrated.
Yeah.
Usually Rock feels like he's all over the place with it. He was very direct with his energy. That Rock, Dracula, or whatever you want to call him, he can beat Mook. I would have him 2-1 over Mook. But it depends, man. I don't know how personal this is gonna get. Obviously, there's a Dot Mob history behind it, and they had words. We saw Rock and Rex and see that whole situation. Rock and K had a situation for a long time. So obviously, the history is there, and there's a storyline behind it.
In the Mook and Rock friendship, and Mook was supposed to battle Briz, and that didn't. Did I say Briz and Rock friendship?
You said Mook and
no,
Rock
I meant
friendship.
to say the Briz and Rock friendship.
Briz backed
and then the thing the shit that happened at some Impact. So, yeah. There's a lot to talk about with the Briz situation. Even without the Briz situation, there's a lot to talk about with just the Dot Mob situation. I'm curious to see how personal they're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious to see if all 3 rounds is just gonna be dirty laundry flying, or are they gonna make a conscious effort to try and out-rap each other? Right. Is this gonna be a who raps better, or is this gonna be a, I'm gonna change the way people look at you because I know shit about you that other people don't know? Right.
I think that's gonna be really interesting. If I know Rock, he wants people to look at Mook different. I would guess that Rock is gonna have very personal material, but I don't know if Mook will for Rock. For Briz, I would have guessed that. I would have guessed that he would try to, you know what I'm saying, attack a certain way, more personal, more direct. I think Mook would be personal and direct with Rock, but I think Rock is gonna try way harder to expose him or to attack him with personals. I'm gonna say Rock 2-1.
They say when you put somebody up at a high standard, the best way to beat them is to bring them down. So
Bring him down to earth.
Yeah.
And, you know, Rock can definitely do that, man. He's a really good rapper. So we gonna see, man. But gun to my head, Rock 2-1.
Okay.
Gun to my head, Rock 2-1. But I expect it to be a fire battle. I think it's actually gonna be a better battle than Mook and Briz would have been, personally. I think this style-wise makes more sense. But I think it's gonna be a really good battle, man. And I'm anxious to see Mook back on URL, to be honest.
Right.
Because we haven't seen Mook on URL since what? But not counting Summer Impact.
It would have to be
Was
Iron
it Solomon, right?
Yeah, it had to be Iron.
So we really
Solomon.
haven't gotten a full Mook battle in damn near 8 years on URL. 8 years since he battled Solomon, and that was a comeback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
We've seen
he's
him on
always
Total
coming
Slaughter,
back.
we've seen him on RBE, but we haven't seen him back on URL for a full 3 rounds.
Right.
I'm super excited to see what Mook does.
You and me both.
Yeah, for sure.
And Brock. You know,
I'm sure
big,
he is too.
Big fan of both of these guys, man. So this could definitely be a good battle.
Should be a fire battle.
Yeah.
Should be a fire battle.
And then
Salute to them, though.
And I know the rest of the card is probably gonna be crazy too. So, and that's a URL anniversary. So
Yeah, so you know they're gonna do it big. I've definitely heard of some rumored matchups.
Gotta be big.
And yeah, you know, it could definitely be as big as Summer Madness, if not bigger. You know what I'm saying? The things that I've heard as far as what they're putting together. So it should be dope, man. I'm real excited to see it, man. Salute to URL because, you know, I've stood on this camera and other cameras and I've been highly critical when they have events that don't go well or when battlers don't show up. Last night, y'all showed up. Battlers showed up. 3 rounds, great performances. Every battle was worth a rewatch. Summer Madness X was great, man. So salute to URL, salute to all the battlers on it. You gotta keep that same energy, man. So as much as I criticize when the cards and the battles don't be fire, and last night was very fire, man. Very fire.
15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.